Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Very exciting time of year, not just because it's the Christmas season, but this is also the time of year the year-end videos start to come around. I look forward to watching these videos all year long, and I of course love filming them. And today we're gonna start things off on a bit of a negative note, and I'm gonna share with you guys the most disappointing products that I tried out in the year 2022. I was kind of surprised after going through my makeup, after looking at some of the videos that I've done this year. I gathered quite a large pile of makeup here. These are just some things that didn't work out for me. Maybe I didn't like the formulas, maybe the packaging was a little bit off. I even have a couple things that I have issues with the brand. So we're gonna cover it all today. Before we get into it, special welcome if you are a new visitor here. I hope you enjoy this video and I hope you'll consider subscribing before you leave. Also, be sure that your notifications are turned on if you'd like to be notified each time I upload a new video. And with that said, I have a feeling this is gonna take a while, so let's get right into it. All right, let's get started with some palettes. First off, I have a palette here from Sigma. This is a highlighter palette. This is their Glow Kissed highlighter palette. I picked this up about 6 months ago when I tried Sigma out for the very first time. And they're pretty highlights, but they're very, very glittery. They're a little bit on the dry side. I just found them to be a little bit too glittery for me. And I am someone that likes a very intense highlighter, as you guys will know if you've been watching me for a while. I don't mind something intense and foiled, but I don't like when I can see particles of glitter. And these definitely have some particles of glitter in them. And I find them to emphasize texture even more than other intense highlighters that I own. I just was not wild about the formula. Honestly, you guys, I was this close to including in this video the two Sigma eyeshadow palettes I tried out because I'm not wild about the Sigma shimmer formula. It felt a little bit on the dry side to me, but I'm wearing the Ambiance palette today, and I tried using the shimmer a little bit wet. That was the first time I had tried it in that way, and I liked it a lot better. So I ended up putting these to the side. I'm gonna give these another chance. I really love the matte formula. I think this is a beautiful eye look today, so maybe I just need a little bit more time with those. That said, I don't like glitter on my cheeks, so these were just a little bit too glittery and shimmery for me. Didn't love them. They weren't the worst, but definitely not as good as some of the other highlighters that I love. A couple of larger palettes that didn't work out for me. This one might be the worst palette that I tried this year. This is the Morphe Make and Bank palette. I used this only like 2 or 3 times. Honestly, I did not have any success with the shades that I tried in here. I haven't used everything, but I've used probably more than half. I've used a good chunk of the shades over on the cool tone side, as well as some of the more peachy tones. I just didn't love them. I don't know. It's been a while since I've used a Morphe eyeshadow palette or tried one out. The last one that I bought from them was the 350 palette, which I still have, but I use it to touch up my roots when my gray hair starts to grow back in. It's very useful for that, but I don't ever use that one on my eyes. I just did not love this, especially the mattes and even some of these shimmers, like these shimmers especially. This one was okay. They're really weak, and maybe they're not meant to be very foiled or metallic, but I just found them to be kind of weak, kind of muddy. The mattes really didn't blend very well. I know I've already complained about this palette, but it really was probably the worst palette that I tried out this year. Fortunately, I got it for like $6, but even at that price, I wouldn't recommend it. Let me know if you guys have tried some other Morphe palettes that worked a little better for you. I know a lot of people love them, but it might be a while before I go back to Morphe after my experience with this one. Another palette that didn't work out for me is this one right here. This is from Cara Beauty. I picked this up at a Marshall's, I believe. Marshall's or TJ Maxx. I think you can get these at Marshall's and TJ Maxx. They have a lot of different palettes there. I see different sizes and color stories from this brand. I've been seeing them there for quite a while, I think for the last couple of years. I picked this one up hoping that it would compare to ColourPop's formula, because this clearly looks just like a ColourPop palette to me. It has the smaller pan sizes. Unfortunately, the formula just was not great. And I, again, haven't tried everything in here, but I've tried a lot, and nothing really worked well for me. I kind of feel like every one of these mid-tone matte shades looked exactly the same on my eyes, which was really just like a very sheer, dusty wash of grayish. And I don't mind the color grayish, but they were just not pigmented at all. I found them just to not really deposit any color. I would build up like 10 layers, and I kind of felt like ultimately things just started muddying together and didn't look very good. The shimmers weren't even that impressive. They look pretty swatched. On my eyes, they just are a little bit weak. They kind of sheer out when you blend them on your eyes. They're very chalky. I think that's the word I would use. They just are a little bit on the chalky side. Maybe it's just this palette. This is the Cool Whatever Smiley Face palette. Maybe some of the other palettes they have are better, but I wasn't impressed with really any of the shades in this palette. I just didn't think the formula was very good quality. I have a couple smaller quads I want to mention, with the exception of one. So these are from Hard Candy. I tried out these little monochromatic mood eyeshadow quads. These three right here did not work out very well for me. This one, however, this is the Bear Quad, very simple, basic nudes. This one actually worked really well. It kind of reminded me slightly of the Natasha Denona Mini Nude palette. Similar shades, similar formulas. The formulas in this one I felt like were better than the others, especially the shimmers. They weren't quite as weak as some of these other ones. These three, I didn't really like any of them. None of them performed great on me. I don't even know if you can still get your hands on these. I haven't seen them at my drugstore recently. I feel like my drugstore section of Hard Candy is very, very small. There's very few products there, so I feel like they shuffle things in and out really quickly. These were very cheap. I think I got them for like $3.98 a piece, but I still wouldn't recommend them with the exception of the Bear palette, which was pretty good. Let's talk about a couple foundations. I just wanted to mention, I know I've talked about these before, but I wanted to mention the packaging of these 4 foundation products. My NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, and also the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundations. I have 3 of them, which I know is so overkill. I've still yet to find my perfect shade, by the way. So all of these, when I store them, and I store my foundations in a drawer flat like this, which is probably part of the problem. Maybe they're meant to be stored upright, but I don't have this problem with all of my pumps. My Flower Beauty pump is fine. I have a Makeup Forever foundation that doesn't have trouble with the pump. The Pretty Fresh foundation from ColourPop, a Bare Minerals foundation. None of them have trouble with the pumps, but all of these are very, very messy. They leak out of this little section right here and get all over the lid here, waste a lot of foundation, make a big mess, but I don't really have anywhere else to store them, which is a little unfortunate. You can see this one's pretty messy as well. Oh, I really don't like when my foundation gets grimy and messy like this. I love the convenience of a pump, and these are a couple of my favorite foundation formulas in my collection. I really, really love both of these, but man, are they messy. I'm worried that they're gonna start leaking like out of this part of the lid and leaking all over my drawer. But then I'm afraid if I store them on my desk, they're gonna tip over, and they're all glass bottles and they might shatter on my hard floor. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but I had to mention it as a fail because I feel like if Flower Beauty can get a pump to perform well, why can't Anastasia Beverly Hills and NARS do the same thing? Maybe it's just me, maybe I got a bad batch, but I doubt it because 2 of the 3 of these so far have leaked. I also wanted to mention this. This is the MAC Studio Radiance Face and Body Radiant Sheer Foundation. This is like the new version of MAC's Face and Body, which I think has been around forever. I know it's been a makeup artist's favorite for years and years and years. My sister has used that foundation religiously for like the last 10 or 15 years. And I had never tried it, so when I went to buy it, it had been replaced by this one. And I have my doubts that this is the same formula. While I have never owned the original Face and Body formula, I have worn it before because my sister's done my makeup a few times, and if I remember right, that foundation had a lot better coverage than this. This is very, very sheer. I'd say it has light, maybe you can build it up to light medium coverage, and that's just not quite enough for me. Now, I don't hate this foundation. I will use it on days when I'm just maybe running errands, but I find myself wishing that I could have tried the original. And I don't think it's just me. I did a lot of reading of reviews after trying this out for the first time, and I found a lot of people said the same thing, especially people that have used the original Face and Body for a long time. Many of them said this formula was not the same. And maybe it's not meant to be, but I just wonder why they changed the formula when it was such a like staple for so many people, but I don't know. Just a little disappointed by that. I guess I don't know that I would have loved the original one, but this one is just way more sheer than what I remember it being. I had to mention this concealer. This is the L'Oreal True Match Eye Cream in a Concealer. This concealer, I want to like this. I keep pulling it out and using it, wanting to like it, but I just find it to be a little bit too sheer for me. It just does not have enough coverage to cover difficult areas on me. Like if you don't have sunspots or intense acne, maybe you just need something that's gonna slightly even out your skin tone. Maybe you have very, very dry skin and under eyes. It is very hydrating. It's one of the most hydrating concealers I've ever used. It kind of reminds me of if you were to take your concealer and combine it with like 50% moisturizer. I kind of feel like that's what you'd get from this product. It's very, very moisturizer feeling, but not quite enough coverage for me. I think that's unfortunate. I actually love the packaging of this. There's a ton of product inside here, 0.4 ounces, which is so much for a concealer. I even found the shade matches to be just right. I just don't like this that much. I wish I did, but I just don't. Brief mention for the Maybelline 4-in-1, not the product itself, just the packaging. In fact, I'll give you a little spoiler. When we do talk about my favorite drugstore products from the year, this is likely gonna make it into that video for the product inside, but the packaging, I really dislike this packaging. Mine is actually ripped at the top. I don't know why. It's not like I rub this on aggressively or anything, but it's kind of coming apart. It's always kind of soggy, which kind of grosses me out. I just don't love the packaging of this product, even though the product inside is pretty darn good. It's grown on me. The more I've used it, the more I love the actual product. You can see I've used almost all of it. I mean, I'm down to the very last little quarter down there. I may even repurchase this. I just wish, Maybelline, if you happen to be watching this video, can you put this in a squeezy tube or a pump? I would like it so much better that way, but that's just me. I do have one mascara that did not work out very well for me. This is from Rare Beauty. It's just a mini. Now, I've only had this for about a month, but I did use it for a good week or two on and off. I just was not that impressed with this mascara. I kind of felt like it made my lashes look thinner. Like once the mascara was on, I kind of felt like it looked like half my lashes had fallen out. I don't know why that is. Some mascaras just seem to make my lashes look like I have a lot of lashes, and others make them look like, it's not even that they've clumped my lashes together, they just don't emphasize them or make them look full. And I do like something that's gonna make my lashes look really full. It didn't wear badly, it didn't smudge or flake on me or anything. I just didn't think it was like the best looking mascara for my lashes. It didn't help my lashes look their best. And honestly, I'm not that picky with mascaras. I feel like most mascaras work pretty well for me. This one just was not that impressive to me. Okay, let's go through a couple lip products. First off, this little lip balm right here from Wet n Wild. It just is not great. This is the Wet n Wild So Pouty Lip Gloss Balm. It's very, very waxy. I just was not that impressed with this stuff. I even have the coconut one sitting here on my desk in hopes that I would get some use out of it, but I just don't. I mean, I've got my Laneige sitting on here. If I have dry lips, I'm reaching for the Laneige. I have a mini of the Aquaphor over here as well. I have a Burt's Bees over here. I think I will reach for all of those before I reach for this very waxy lip balm. I don't know why they call it the lip gloss balm, because I feel like this is very matte. I mean, it does not have a lot of shine to it at all. It smells yummy. If you like artificial peaches, normally that's a major win for me, but the balm is just very, very waxy. Not that impressed. Maybe I'll put it in my car when I'm desperate and there's nothing else in the car. Maybe then I'll pull this thing out. Not gonna throw it away. Gotta figure out a way to use it somehow. Maybe I'll give it to Charlie. She would just eat it though. She eats lip balm. Wonder where she gets that from. Couple of cheek products here. I wanted to mention the Rare Beauty Cream Blush. I tried this out last fall towards the end of the year, so kind of like pre-Christmas. I think I got it in the Christmas sale last year. At first I liked it. I love the shade of it, but I've pulled it out several times throughout the year, and especially as I've tried out so many cream blushes, this has been the year of the cream blush for me, and I found certain formulas I really love and some just aren't. And most formulas I'm not that picky with, but this one does somehow go a little patchy on my cheeks. That's very uncommon, especially for a cream blush for me to get patchy, but this one just does not go on very evenly on me. I find myself having to over blend it, which then blends out all the foundation and concealer underneath. Kind of unfortunate. I think this is the cutest packaging. I love the packaging. And I know that the Rare Beauty liquid blushes are very, very popular. I think they have fantastic reviews. I really need to try one of those. I wish I would have got one of those instead of this. I was going back and forth between the two, but that's okay. When I do a declutter, I do plan to do some declutters in January. This is likely one that will get decluttered, and I'm sure someone will really enjoy getting this in my declutter bin. Maybe it will work better for someone else that doesn't have the skin issues and things to cover on their cheeks. I also had to mention this. This I got in my last K-Beauty order, which it's been a while since I've done a K-Beauty video. I think it was like back in the spring. This is the Etude House Heart Cookie Blusher. Now, first off, cutest packaging ever. And by the way, I will not declutter this because Charlie, every time she comes in and kind of looks at my makeup and plays with stuff, this is obviously the one that she picks out. Not only is the heart super cute, but look inside here, you guys. Look at this little powder puff. Has this cute little bow. I love the Etude House blushes. They are so adorable. And then the blush itself looks like a little wafer cookie. How stinking cute is this thing? It's just too light for me. This is so light that it almost could be a setting powder on me. I don't know. If you have extremely fair skin, maybe this will show up on you. I have tried several times, and honestly, like, I just, look at this. I'm swatching it and you just cannot see anything at all. It is very, very, very fair and light. I can't really comment on the formula or anything because it just doesn't show up on my skin, but the packaging, I mean, come on. cutest thing ever. I'll keep it around for Charlie to play with. Good thing is it won't show up on her either, so she can put it on her face and she doesn't even look like she's wearing makeup because she's only 5 and I don't want her to wear makeup yet. But especially with the cute packaging, I was disappointed that it didn't really work for me as a product. Next up is one I'm a little bit hesitant to mention because the product itself is good. It is the Nude Sticks Mini Trio. This is one of their mini face sets. It comes with a mini pencil version of Bondi Bay, a highlighter, and then also a cream blush in the shade Bohemian Rose. Loved the shade of blush, loved Bondi Bay. The highlighter was okay. I kind of felt like it was a little bit deep on me. The shade of highlighter, by the way, is Hey Honey. A little bit golden, a little better for me in the middle of the summer. I loved these formulas. I just found the packaging to be way too tiny to be very workable for my cheeks. It's a little bit too small to draw on my cheeks without it being just like a line. I mean, I don't know. It was a little tricky. And then I had a hard time getting it evenly built up inside a brush. And because it just takes a little bit more work, I just don't find myself reaching for them very often. I know I would be much more likely to reach for this if I had it in the full-size version. This is my Sun-Kissed bronzer blush stick. Maybe if you apply cream products with your fingers, if you just like things that are like on the go and you just take your fingers and kind of rub them on. I don't really apply makeup that way, so these wouldn't work well like that for me. I just don't find myself using them, again, because the packaging is just a little bit tricky to work with for how I like to apply cream products. Kind of unfortunate because I think it's a cute little set. I mean, the packaging is adorable. This little tin, I love the Nude Sticks tins. I think they're so fun. I always keep them even though I don't do anything with them. In fact, for a while I had this mirror in my purse and it got all scratched up and now it doesn't even look like a mirror. It looks like a piece of old tin foil. But I always try to find something to do with them because I think they're very cute. For my cheeks, these just don't quite work for me. Just a couple more things. First off, this is the Milk Makeup Grip Eye Primer. I feel like a lot of people have mentioned this in fail videos. This is also one of the products I tried out towards the end of the year last year, my Sephora end of year order. And I have tried and tried to get this to work for me or just to do something, and I just don't feel like this does anything for me. The reason it interested me is because it says it's an eyeshadow and concealer primer. And I kind of thought, oh, a primer for under your eyes. Maybe it will keep my concealer from creasing. I don't think it really does that. I don't even think it really keeps my eyeshadow from creasing or makes it last longer or more vibrant. I kind of just feel like it's like a useless product. It doesn't do anything at all. It doesn't make anything worse. It just doesn't seem to do anything for me. It's definitely not as grippy as other eyeshadow primers that I own. Too bad, because I do like the packaging, but that's about it. One more disappointment. I had to mention the Kerastase Elixir Ultimate Elixir. There's so many languages on here, I don't know what it's called. Elixir Ultime. This hair oil from Kerastase. So I have mentioned this also in another video, but I wanted, again, we're talking about everything today. So I got this after Jessica Braun mentioned it. Okay, Jessica has the most beautiful, shiny, healthy looking hair, whether her hair's straight or curly. I think I was hoping that by using this product, my hair would look like Jessica's. My hair is just so dry. We both have somewhat naturally curly hair, so I was hoping that I would have super healthy hair after using this. And unfortunately, it just wasn't quite powerful enough for my very, very dry hair. I did mention before that I do like this when my hair is straight, but I don't wear my hair straight very often. And it was pretty pricey. I have put this on Charlie's hair a few times, and it makes her hair just glossy and glassy and shiny and beautiful. So I feel like it's just me. Like maybe my hair just rejects this. Like, nope, that's not gonna cut it, Mandy. So clearly it's a good oil if you have normal hair type and not horse hay, as I like to call my very dry curls. It may very well work for you. I just thought it was a little bit pricey for not doing enough for my hair. Last thing I have to mention, you guys might be able to educate me on this. It's actually a brand. It's the brand Bite Beauty. So I have this lipstick here. I got this when they had their, I know this released a while ago. This is the new version of their lipsticks. When they came back, Bite Beauty had some stuff out and then they went away for a while. And then they came back with another release. They released these lipsticks, which I love. I love this one. This one I have is in the shade Praline. Actually, don't use it a ton, but it is a nice shade. It's just very like mid-tone pink for me. But just earlier this week, if you saw my last video, you will have seen me try out this lip gloss that I found at my Marshalls. Guys, I am in love with this lip gloss. And when I went online to find this lip gloss, and then I just started investigating Bite Beauty in general, they have like disappeared from the internet again. They've done this before. Why does this happen with Bite Beauty all the time? Maybe you guys know something going on. I was so kind of frustrated by that because not only am I loving this lip gloss, but also like either of these products I feel like I can never use on camera now because I hate using things, especially raving about something like this is the most amazing lip gloss ever and you're never going to be able to get your hands on it. And I am wearing this gloss on my lips today. Proof again, this is such a good gloss. I'm so disappointed that you can't get it anymore. They've done this to me before. So frustrating. I can only use their products for a couple of months and then all of a sudden, boom, they're gone. And I think that's it, you guys. Those are all the disappointing products that I tried out in the year 2022, the things that didn't work for me, packaging that disappointed me, brands that disappeared from the internet. I would love to hear from you guys. What disappointed you? What did not work out for you this last year? What was your biggest fail or disappointment? Let me know down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. I have my best of drugstore and best of high-end makeup coming up, as well as my palette ranking video for the end of the year. So let that be a reminder to subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Make sure those notifications are turned on. But that's gonna do it for today. Thank you all for joining me. Hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. On my lips, Natasha lip liner, Bite Beauty lip gloss that you're never gonna get your hands on. Like this just was not powerful enough. I'm having a clumsy day. So my husband and I went out to lunch today. We were just at this little like burger joint and they were playing Christmas music. I don't know where they get their playlist, but it was hilarious because they played probably 10 songs in a row that were all on my husband's least favorite Christmas songs. Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney was one. By the way, my sister's favorite Christmas song growing up was Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time. I feel like that's another song that clearly lots of people like it because every radio station that plays Christmas music plays that song every 5th song. The David Bowie Peace on Earth, Little Drummer Boy song, the U2 Christmas song, the So This Is Christmas song that's really depressing and makes you just like, why is everyone so depressed around Christmas time? Seriously, every song they played I was like, oh, this is another terrible Christmas song that I forgot about. The choir of children sing their song. They practice all year long. I don't like it. How do I know it? Ding dong.